welcome. You're watching the Motown Show. I'm Srishti Sharma, and indeed the auto sector is among the biggest beneficiaries of the GST cuts and business is looking good. But what's happening with the market leader, Hero MotoCorp? We get you a rare voice today. Let me welcome Ashutosh Verma, Chief Business Officer at Hero MotoCorp, joining us on the show right now. Hi Ashutosh, a very good afternoon and thank you so much for joining ET Now. And firstly, the excitement is all about autos, and especially within the two-wheeler pack with GST cut from 28% to 18% now. Help us understand what's the real demand pickup that you are witnessing on ground. How has been the sales trend so far in terms of delivery and bookings as well?
So first of all, thank you, Srishti. Thank you for having me here. It's really an exciting time for the entire industry. I mean, the intervention by the government in terms of GST reduction has been met with huge excitement with consumers on the ground. The Navratris have just started. We are into the first 5 days now. And with the growth in inquiries, the growth in consumer interest through calls, which is almost double of what we've had in the previous Navratri, these are really exciting times. We know that all of this, initially, of course, when it started, there was a lot of price discovery that was happening. But as we have moved deeper into Navratri, we have started seeing the manifestation of all this in terms of actual numbers. We are excited that this is probably going to be one of the best festives that we've had ever.
Indeed. But Ashutosh, if you can just help us with any growth number, what sort of a percentage growth are you actually witnessing on ground? What's the real excitement about?
So sure, I guess initially if you look at the YTD August numbers from a Vahan perspective, the industry was largely flat. And then came this wonderful announcement by the Honorable Prime Minister. And thereafter, of course, we reset ourselves basis the intent that we were seeing on the ground. So we are targeting a double-digit growth in this festive. We're confident that we'll be able to deliver that. In terms of all the new customers that are walking into our showrooms, we're already seeing a double-digit growth. So that's something that excites us. We have seen a very healthy booking pipeline lead up to the festive. All these bookings are yet to manifest fully because there is, as I said initially, there is this phase of price discovery. So of course, consumers were wanting to know more about what's the benefits that's coming on. They're wanting to know if companies are trying to do more beyond the GST cut, which we are. In fact, we have some excellent programs that are running consumer offers on top of what the government has announced. And all that should lead into quicker conversion of all the bookings that we've had. Very confident that we will end the festive with a double-digit growth for sure.
Good to know that, Ashutosh. But where are you seeing more excitement? Is it the rural areas or is it the urban market that is doing very well? And if at all, both the markets have any gaps still pending?
So there is excitement all across. I shouldn't single out any particular segment rather. That said, I guess the urban was a little quick to react. We saw that segment, of course, it was also helped with the income tax cuts that came in a little earlier and the benefits of that started accruing. Of course, there is the information flow across all the urban markets were rather quicker. Also rural, this time the festives are a little early, so buying also has to time itself with the harvesting that finally happens, and that should happen around the mid of October. So while the rural continues to do well, but we expect it to really go much beyond than the current levels as we progress deeper into the festive, and the benefits of GST and the income growth because of the crop harvest and those yields come in. So the later part of festive for rural will be much better than what it's currently. And we are very confident that that will also lead the growth overall.
But Ashutosh, let's talk about the segment-wise performance, because indeed you are the leader below 125cc segment, and even above your market share is quite substantial. But along with that, help us understand that how are you seeing the buyers shifting their preference? Because with this GST cut and even lower income tax, the other factor that was at play is that now people will have more money in their hands, so they might look to premiumization trend in a bigger fashion. They might look to upgrade their vehicles. Is that something that even you are witnessing?
Sure, yeah, yes, you're right, Srishti. There is a lot of upgrade that is happening and is expected to happen more. In fact, there are a lot of consumers who are upgrading from used two-wheelers to new two-wheelers. So that's an exciting phase. So our entry segment is showing a lot of good traction. Of course, our growth is led by the great performance of scooters in our portfolio. We have launched some new scooters earlier this year, and all of them, the Destiny, the Zoom, all have met with some excellent response, and that continues to lead the growth charts for us. But as I said, I mean, there are a lot of people who are entering the mobility space, and that's where our HF Deluxe Pro, we launched this product earlier this year. A very exciting product which builds in a lot of aspiration, balances affordability and aspiration very well. That's doing really well for us. We've had some excellent launches in the premium segment. We have had the Xpulse 210, we have had the Xtreme 250. They're doing really great. In fact, our premium strategy is anchored around customer experience. We are selling our premium vehicles from our premium outlets, and we are rapidly expanding the footprint across the country. We have over 100 stores today, all delivering exceptional customer experience. The GMB ratings are pretty high. And of course, with the products that we have that are exciting, Xpulse, for example, the 210 is something that getting a lot of customer love. And we are confident that this will help us foray deep into the premium segment as we move forward.
All right, good to know that. But Ashutosh, let's talk about VIDA and your EV portfolio, because of late, Hero MotoCorp has been gaining market share. Of course, just a couple of months back, you actually nudged and entered that double-digit market share mark as well. Help us understand what, as per you, is really driving this surge, because it's been quite some time now that you guys are present in the electric vehicle space. How do you plan to sustain the momentum going forward in FY26 and beyond?
So while I come to the EV, which is it's in a super exciting story for us, I just want to take a moment to also explain you about the Premia concept that we are driving. It's the only showroom, the kind of showroom in India which delivers differentiated experiences. You walk into a Premia showroom, on the first right-hand side, you will see the Harley Davidson, where we say you live freedom, and then you walk further ahead, you see the Xtreme series, and you say you live, the Xpulse series, when you say we live adventure. You walk to the left, and there you see the Xtreme series, where you say you live thrill. And finally, as you're walking out, you see the entire EV series, the VIDA range, and you say you live life. So it's the entire different kinds of lifestyles that people experience under one roof, and the only of its kind in the country. EVs for us has been an exceptional story. In fact, we feel that we have the best product and the technology in the market with removable batteries. Every 5 ampere plug today is a charging point of our EVs, and I think this has caught the fancy of the consumers. The products are excellent. We have had a recent launch of VIDA VX2 that's helping us gain market share very, very rapidly. In fact, we moved into double-digit market share, and there are several markets where we are leaders already, and we have high aspirations in the EV space, and we're confident that we'll be able to reach there very soon.
All right, we look forward to that, Ashutosh. But lastly, talk to us about how has your newly launched vehicles have been performing on ground? What sort of customer excitement is seen on that particular front, especially in terms of the booking, if you can help us with some number? And going ahead, how is the new launch pipeline looking like?
So, I mean, we've had, as I said, some exciting launches in the last 1 year. I mean, we have 12 products that are going to see the festive for the first time, and hence for our consumers, the offering that we have this festive is novelty, a lot of freshness, new tech that we have brought it across categories, and I could go on speaking volumes about each of these products. I spoke about HFD Lux Pro. It comes in with the LED lights, digital meters. We've improved the mileage significantly with technological interventions. We have launched the Glamour X, which is a rage today. It's the most futuristic 125cc, comes with cruise control, ride modes, electronic throttle body, everything that you can possibly seek for, and much more in a 125cc. Our scooters, I mean, the Zoom 125, the Zoom 160, the Destiny 125, all these are going to see the festive again for the first time. We were very confident here, and of course, the Vida VX2 that I spoke about a little earlier, the X-Pulse, the Extreme 250. Today, the new models contribute close to around 12 to 15% of our portfolio this festive, right? Which is very confidence inspiring. We have new set of customers walking into our showrooms. I mean, their families walking into our showrooms. The showrooms have been upgraded to 2.0, give a very fresh feel. And as these new customers, Extreme 125R, for example, I mean, most of the buyers are below 25 years of age, and they're walking into our showrooms, experiencing this product. It's over-indexed on performance. It's the fastest 125cc motorcycle in the market and doing exceptionally well. It's perhaps the fastest 250,000 brand that has become since its launch in the 125cc space, clearly. So we're very confident that these will further add excitement in this festive, and consumers will have a lot more to look forward to.
Well, indeed. But lastly, Ashutosh, help us understand that since you have so many new launches, what sort of a market share are you envisaging or aiming for in below 125cc segment, 125cc segment and above? And along with that, what's the target for the EV portfolio?
So, I mean, competition is always good, Srishti, and helps us always innovate and push the boundaries. I mean, we have clear strategies laid out for each of these segments, over-indexed on one of the four Ps of the other, right? So, I mean, 125cc motorcycles is something that we have three wonderful products. We had the Super Splendor, which was on the vector of utility, has the best mileage in the 125cc segment. And then you had the Extreme 125R, over-indexed on performance, the fastest 125cc. And then recently we launched the Glamour X in the middle segment, which actually draws best of both worlds. Our aim in 125cc is nothing short of leadership, and we're very confident that we will be able to reach there. In fact, if you look at since the launch of Extreme 125R last year, we gained significant market share in 125cc, and that journey is expected to continue with further additions in our portfolio in 125cc, the Glamour X, and also the new Extreme 125R that we are launching.
All right, Ashutosh, with this we let you go, and that's so good having you on the channel today, and wishing you all the best for the rest of the festive season and the sales in that period as well. Thank you so much. All right, so from the leader of the two-wheeler space, let's put the spotlight on the passenger vehicle leader, and that is indeed Maruti Suzuki, because they too have been witnessing very strong sales on ground. But what's in store for the customers? How is the sales momentum picking up going ahead? What's the outlook? Let's understand all on that. We are being joined by Mr. Partha Banerjee, Senior Executive Officer, Marketing and Sales at Maruti Suzuki. Mr. Banerjee, so good having you on the channel today. Thank you so much for your time, and firstly congratulations, because I believe the kind of numbers that we are getting to read and hear about, that's fantastic. What are sales on ground? But help us understand, where exactly is the momentum coming from? Is it the small car segment doing better versus the SUVs? If you can help us with some breakup and some growth numbers.
First of all, I would like to say that response has been very good to the GST 2.0 reform. thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister and the Finance Minister for coming up with this initiative. The response, what we are seeing, if we talk about across all the segments, has been very good. But in small cars, we are seeing the response is furthermore good. Just to give you a perspective that in small cars, we are seeing that the bookings has grown to the tune of 50%. And if we talk about the markets beyond top 100 cities, there our booking growth is to the tune of 100%. So this is, I think, is the right time, Srishti, for the Indian customers to go and own a four-wheeler.
All right, but Mr. Banerjee, what's the latest sales number? If you can help us with any number on that, how is the delivery and the booking trend looking like?
See, till yesterday night we reached to 80,000 mark, so you have to wait. Today the day has just started and our channel partners are working late night to deliver the cars. So you have to wait for some more time, then only the number will change.
The latest number that we get to here is above 80,000, and that is indeed very strong. But where are you getting to see the most traction from? Because it's the small car segment where not just you have actually passed on the GST rate cut benefit, but you have gone ahead and given additional discounts this festive. While the SUVs have been doing very well, from 48-50%, it's been slashed to 40% now. Where's most excitement seen on ground?
Okay, I will give a perspective that the vehicles which now fall into the 18% GST category, there the growth is higher compared to the vehicles which are in the 40% category. So mostly in the 40% category, the big cars which are there, the SUVs and the MPVs, there also we are seeing a growth. But comparatively, the 18% category, the small car segment vehicles, the growth is much, much better.
All right, good to know that. But lastly, Mr. Banerjee, how sustainable are these price cuts is something on the minds of everyone, especially on the small cars, because the kind of price cuts and discounts rather are huge. Should we expect them to be short-lived, or is there a longer-term strategy here?
First of all, I will tell you the background why we did it actually. The car penetration in India is still at 34 per thousand. And being the market leader, what we were seeing was this, that overall the Indian auto industry is not growing. So we decided that being the market leader, we need to increase the motorization. And in order to do that, we have done a very strategic pricing for the entry-level cars. And we are expecting that the volumes will go up, which will be offsetting the strategic pricing which we have done. And on the top of it, these prices are only till the 31st of December this year. So we are just doing it to increase the motorization of the Indian auto industry.
All right, Mr. Banerjee, with this we'll let you go on that. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us. All right, viewers, but with this, it's time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the other side. Welcome back to the Motown Show, and ahead of the festive season, high-performance electric motorcycle startup Ultraviolette has launched its segment-agnostic crossover product, the X47. The bike is making heads turn by coming with an inbuilt radar and anti-collision tech, a first-in-class feature. My colleague Jude caught up with the CEO of TVS Zoho and Qualcomm-backed startup to talk distribution, funding, growth, and premiumization in EVs. Take a look.
At Ultraviolette with the F77s, you've seen a lot of innovation on the performance aspect of the machine. We were also the first to introduce safety features like dual-channel ABS, traction control. And we started thinking, what more could we do to enhance the safety on two wheels? Right? The world of four-wheelers has seen a lot of this. You've got ADAS systems in cars for a few years now. But our challenge was, on motorcycles, you don't have any of these safety systems. Your helmet limits your field of view. And how do we solve for, your field of view increasing on the sides and the back of your riding experience? So that's when we started working on the radar technology. We call it the UV Hypersense. So we've got blind spot detection, lane change assist, overtake alert, collision alert to you, the rider, and also the lights on the rear alert the person behind you if they're approaching you too fast.
Right.
And this radar is also a lot more complex because as against four-wheelers, two-wheelers see changes in roll, pitch and yaw. So the radar also has to be fine-tuned to be calibrated to sense your change of lean angle. For instance, the bike leans 20 degrees, the radar adjusts itself real time. You speed up, the field of coverage goes up. So a lot of this specific to motorcycles, I think it's taken us a good 2 years to get in place. And the magic is we're getting it onto highly affordable segments at 2.49 lakhs.
Absolutely.
And we took a call to make it standard across all variants of the X47.
Right. Some very interesting features and a great introductory price, no doubt. But moving ahead, I want to know what this does to the startup itself. Ultraviolette, I know for a fact that you've been on the fast track with your product launches. What are growth prospects looking like as you go forward, even as your launch pipeline gets firmed up, Narayan?
Sure. So our strategy was converse to what the other companies may have taken, which has been to have a top-down approach, where we build technology for the high-performance sports segments. And then by default, all of that tech becomes scalable downstream. Right, so we're seeing a lot of that now come into play. We've got the X47 today with higher torque, but a lot of the same proven robustness in the powertrain in terms of range, in terms of the power output, in terms of the reliability. Right, so for us, it opens up a wider band. Like you mentioned earlier, this cuts through segments, right? That's the intent of what we built the crossover with. So people who like street motorcycle, roadster, but predominantly do ride urban and urban plus conditions, would be supremely comfortable, and you get more tech than any motorcycle that India has in store today.
Right, I would imagine. So what does this do to the startup's fortunes on the growth and revenue front? Where do you hope to grow from here going forward? And what is the product pipeline looking like?
Sure. So we launched the F77 in the sports segment. With that, we've scaled from one city in Bangalore to now 30 cities across India. We are also the first electric motorcycle company to go global. We are now retailing in Europe as well. Deliveries have started in Europe. Very high demand across France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, UK, etc. Now, for us on a commercial sense, this of course is going to widen the spectrum of users, both from a price band perspective as well as a segment of usage perspective. And I think we look to be on track to do about 10,000 vehicles by end of fiscal year.
All right. Interesting. And in terms of market share as well, I know for a fact that it's only been a few years now, there's so much way to go. But what is the strategy to expand market really and presence on the ground?
So the way we look at it, we've got most other people have built products, we built platforms. The trade-off is that it's taken longer, but the good part is we've got all of the tech in place to scale rapidly. So motorcycles predominantly come in street motorcycles, sport, adventure, roadsters, and of course we have with the crossover something that cuts through. And with scooters, we've also launched the Tesseract, which is more of an urban tech-loaded scooter with more performance and competition. Scooters also should morph into a couple of categories in terms of scooters. So we are on track to have about 6 different vehicle segments live in 24 to 36 months. That's where...
Right. Let's talk about your funding plans for it. I know for a fact that you've raised close to 70 million now, some marquee investors on board, including the likes of TVS, Zoho. What's the funding pipeline looking like going forward? Do you have more names, and how much funds do you plan to raise in the near to medium term?
Sure. All right, so yeah, like you said, we've got some very, very excited investors backing us. TVS, then Specially Invest, then the Zoho group from Kumar Bembu and Sridhar Bembu. Tech in India is what they're passionate about. Of course, recently the XOR group with the Lingoto with Qualcomm Ventures coming in, and now with the TDK group as well. We've got a lot of folks who are strategically interested in progressing technology and electrification. Right? So I think that helps us. We've got a good sounding board as well. In terms of further investments, of course, the industry is capital intensive. We've been very frugal though. You spoke about 70 million. There are no other companies on the planet that have gotten 3 products on the road and 2 more in the pipeline with just 70 million. So we've been extremely capital efficient, and kudos to the team. I think it all comes down to the people innovating real time. Of course, there will be further capital raises, and I think from a growth perspective, probably target an IPO in post 24 months from now, once we have multiple segments in India plus 2 global markets running well oiled. So.
Right. And in the run up to the IPO, is there a funding number that you have in mind, money that you'd like to raise?
I mean, of course, I can't put a number to on the table today, but there would be some race happening, but we'll get back to you on that.
All right. Moving forward, I want to talk a little bit about the overall electric two-wheeler market itself. It's been seeing stellar growth, in fact 21% between FY24 and FY25. It's projected to grow at 28% CAGR, at least that's what latest market statistics say. How will your growth rates be like in comparison to the overall market? Do you expect to grow faster up until FY34, because that's till when the 28% applies to? What will that growth rate be like in comparison to the overall electric two-wheeler market?
I think we will definitely aim to grow faster, and I think there's enough evidence of that. If you look at the IC engine world, it's 60+% motorcycles and up close to 30% scooters. But when it comes to electrics, you don't see as many motorcycles. The question is not that there is lack of demand for motorcycles, it's that motorcycles are harder to build. With more performance comes more reliability requirements, more safety requirements, more thermal engineering, and of course, on motorcycles capable of doing more. There's that much more R&D that needs to go in, right? So most companies have taken the approach of getting a product to market. We've taken the harder route of getting the most advanced product to market. And while I think the field is trying to now move up, we will be able to move downstream faster.
All right, but with this, viewers, it's time to wrap this edition of the Motown. Thank you so much for watching.